Today I'm finally going to do it. The thing I've been putting off for far too long, which is reorganizing my bookshelf. In case you didn't know, I just moved and my bookshelf is a wreck right now. Oh, my water bottle's there. It's a wreck. It is a wreck. So what I'm gonna do is a hack that I like to do with my laundry sometimes, where if I don't feel like doing laundry, I'll like take the sheets off my bed, so then I have to do laundry sometime before I go to sleep because the bed like is literally not made. Before I go to work today, I'm going to take all the books off of my bookshelf and put them on my bed. So like before I go to sleep tonight, I have to organize my bookshelf. And of course, I'm going to take you guys along with me on this bookshelf reorganization. I'm so excited. I really think this bookshelf is gonna look so cute when I'm done. And the good news is by taking all these books off now, I have then the entire day to try to decide how I want to organize my books. If you didn't watch my last bookshelf reorganization video, the organization was honestly a mess at the end. It didn't really make sense logically at all. So I wanted to actually make sense this time and really take the time to make sure it's as good as it can be. Okay, so that took like maybe 10 minutes and all the books are down all over the floor except the books in the book cart. There's only like 6 books right now in the book cart. I got that mostly for expansion purposes, aka I know I'm gonna be buying more books. One down here. I'm going to put those with the other ones and then I will give you a little tour of the disaster zone. Oh jeez, there's not enough room for this book in this genre. Oh, I'm like boxing myself in. Okay, we got this. We got this. That goes with that one. Luckily, these ones are fantasy, and the fantasy books have some room for expansion. Okay, now it is time to tour the disaster zone. Let's go in for the hand overview. Woo woo, what a disaster. The bookshelf is empty. Over here in this corner, we first have the historical fiction books. That one's actually nonfiction, so it should probably be up here with the nonfiction books, but it's historical nonfiction, so I guess it's down there. Then we have our fantasy books here. There are more fantasy books than it looks like. It's just that they're kind of like all stacked. I also didn't bring all my books from home. So like for example, the City of Bones series by Cassandra Clare is not here because it's just such a long series. It would have been hard to bring. And then down here we have the sci-fi books that I brought with me from home. That Crown of Gilded Bones obviously goes with the fantasy books. And again, I didn't bring all my books with me down here to Texas, so this is not an exhaustive collection of my books. A lot of them are still at home. Okay, now over here we have like this adult book section, which is kind of winding. And the reason why I brought so many adult books with me, I just got a bunch that I haven't read yet, so I wanted to bring more books I haven't read than like favorites, just because I need to keep working on my TBR pile. But it's kind of a disaster because you can't really tell where the adult books start and the young adult ones begin. If you can kind of see, like right here we have some young adult thriller books and then young adult contemporary books, so there is like some organization here, but it does look very chaotic. Now it's time to head out to work, and then when we get back, we're going to actually do the organizing. But you see what I mean when I say like right now the books are literally everywhere, so I kind of have to organize them before I go to bed tonight, which is good because again, accountability is important. Oh boy, so many books to come home to. See y'all, I don't feel like organizing all these books, but they're literally everywhere. So even though I just want to like watch Downton Abbey or read, I have to organize the books first. Also, I asked one of my coworkers today at work how I should organize the books, and we agreed it would be really interesting to organize it by alphabetical order, but I want to keep the series like together. So how I'm going to do it is that there's 2 books by the same author, or more than 2 books. I'm going to organize it by alphabetical order by the title, unless there's a series, in which case I'll organize it by the order of the series, if that makes sense. I think this will be really good and organized. Like I said before, in my last bookshelf reorganization, I didn't do a good job organizing it, and I'm constantly taking down books for YouTube videos and book talk videos. So I think just having a really nice organized thing where I can be like, what's the author's last name? Okay, go to that shelf, find the book, and then I can put it back easily will be better than like the chaoticness that it was before. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting all the books on the floor in alphabetical order, and then once I know the order is right, I will put them up on the shelf. Wait, okay, this is a huge question. Do I put the TBRs in with the books that I've already read? I think yes, because there's a lot of TBRs here, but that's always such a tricky question. Like, what do you guys do? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you have like a separate area for your TBRs, or do you just put them in with the other books when you're organizing? And I think our first book is going to be, did I not bring it with me? Oh yes, okay. I think our first book in alphabetical order is most likely going to be, I just like dropped that. I think our first book in alphabetical order is most likely going to be this book, What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, because Albertalli, also this book, very good, 10 out of 10, recommend. And I found what I think will be the last book in alphabetical order. So I am halfway through reorganizing the books right now. I keep having to like sing the alphabet song in my head. I don't know if anyone else does that, like where you have to like sing until you get to the letter so you know where it is. Or is there like some fundamental skill that I didn't learn in preschool? Also, Leigh Bardugo has too many good books because she just made the entire B stack completely fall down. Why are you such a prolific and great writer? Also, speaking of authors who have too many great books, Sarah J Maas literally couldn't even be put in the M piles because she has so many great books. So instead, I put them in a separate like Sarah J Maas pile. In case you are curious, let's walk through how many books there were in each letter. There were obviously some letters that had a lot more books than others, and most of those made sense, but there was one that surprised me. H, for some reason, had a lot of authors. So starting over here, I already put them on the shelf, but those are the A books. The B books are over here, ready to be organized. Then we have C, D, E, F, G, and the giant stack of H books that I told you all about. J, K, L, which is a little bit bigger, and then M, which has this, and of course all these. Next to that, we have the little N. We have R, S, T, W, V, Y, and Z. Obviously, there's some letters too which didn't have any books to them. Maybe that's just like a book buying challenge for the future. The next step is to put them in alphabetical order on the shelves. I'm gonna take one letter stack at a time and then put it up on the shelf. So as I said, the A's are already done. Let's move on to the B's. Okay, so now the bookshelf is all organized. There is a little bit of space down there for more books. Hint, hint, if any publishers are watching this and want to send me any other ARCs. I think I actually have a couple of ARCs on the way too, so then those will obviously go down there. Now I am going to add the lights, which is like the finishing touch, the icing on top of the cake, or in this case, bookshelf. Icing on top of a bookshelf in real life would not be a good idea. For the fairy lights, I went for a little bit more of like a messy feel. We'll see how I feel about this in a little bit, but I'm like, life is kind of messy, and also I feel like when they're messy, they look a little bit more fairy-like, if that makes sense, like a little bit more disorganized, like something that Tinkerbell would have put up. Now we have to organize the nonfiction books, which are going to go on the new book cart that I bought. I'm super excited about my book cart purchase. I got it for like 10 bucks at Marshall's. Marshall's is always amazing. Now I think I'm just gonna have all my nonfiction books there because it's just the perfect amount to go there. However, at least for now, I'm saving this top shelf for these flowers and then like either unsorted books or whatever I'm recently reading. it turns out I don't have very many nonfiction books. I really don't know what to do with all this empty space, other than, of course, buy more books, but I don't have the money to buy that many more books for right now. Let me know any ideas of like little decor pieces. I'm trying to think like things I have around my room that I could potentially put down here. Also, let me know if you want me to do a bookshelf tour where I like go through all the different books and which ones they are and why I chose to bring them with me to Texas. Also, in case you're curious, I also have some books over here, and these are like my favorite classics. I'm not done putting this together yet, but I'm planning on doing a desk tour and like a home office tour when that is done. And I also, again, I'm considering doing that bookshelf tour. So tell me what you think of those two ideas in the comments down below. I am very happy with the way it turned out. I'm considering getting some sort of like standing plant maybe right there. I think it would just make the shot a little bit more dynamic, but for now, this is a really great start. I've been living here for like a month and I haven't gotten around to organizing the bookshelf yet, but now that it's organized, I feel like I can take a huge sigh of relief. Here are a couple of tips about when it comes to organizing your own bookshelf. So the first is definitely to add fairy lights or some sort of other cute accessory to really decorate your bookshelf. Another tip is to make sure you have a way of organizing your books that makes sense to you. In the past, I've done by genre, I've done by author, I've done by color, which looks really visually pleasing, but can be kind of a mess to do. I've also seen some people do their bookshelves, and this like is so cringe to me. Do it like this on their bookshelves, like all the books, and at least to me that's just like a little bit a lot. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you were inspired to go and organize your own bookshelf, or maybe just to put something out that you need to do in a place where it's going to be super disruptive if you don't do it before you go to bed, if you need to do something after you get home from work. As always, I will see you in the next video. I think right now I'm going to reward myself with some mac and cheese and watching Downton Abbey, and then probably some reading.